that we are doing the cost of capital. We are doing a question that you are testing on 2023, right? Question number, it should be somewhere here. It should be question number 5, right? It should be 4b. Should be 4b here. Right, very good. It should be question number 4b. Someone to read the question. Cost of capital, WCC, December 2023, question number 4c. Right, 4b, sorry. Someone to read. Someone to read.
The following is an extract of statement of financial position for Oak Timber Limited for the year ended 30th September 2023. Equity and liabilities. Equity. Share capital 17 million. Retained earnings 15 million. Total equity 32 million. Non-current liabilities. Long-term borrowings 13 million. Capital liabilities 21 million. Total liabilities 34 million. Total equities and liabilities 66 million. Additional information. The share capital of Oak Timber Limited consists of 12 million of ordinary shares and 5 million 5% irredeemable preference shares. The ordinary shares of Oak Timber Limited have a nominal value of 0.5 shillings per share and ex-dividend market price of 7.07 per share and a cum dividend market price of 7.52 shillings per share. The dividends for the year 2023 will be paid in the near future. Dividends paid in recent years have been as follows. Year 2022 0.4, 2021 0.41, 2020 0.39, 2019 0.37. The 5% irredeemable preference shares of Oak Timber Limited has a nominal value of 0.5 per shares and ex-dividends market price of 0.31 per shares. The long-term borrowings of the firm consist of 10 million of 7% loan notes and 3 million bank loan. Bank loan has a variable interest rate. The 7% loan notes has a nominal value of 100 per loan note and market price of 102 per loan note. Annual interests have just been paid and the loan notes are in 4 years' time at the rate of 5% premium to nominal value. The corporate tax is 30%.
Required
cost of equity, cost of shares, cost of 7% loan notes after tax weighted average cost of capital for the firm using market value.
Thank you so much. You can see how the examiner is trying to drop the question. And when this question is already given, you can see the first requirement. The examiner wants us to get the cost of equity. So let me share my board so that I can provide the solution. Don't forget to download my lofts. Just download my lofts. Once you download it, you'll be able to access your past papers. So number one here, we are discussing about the cost of equity, which is our KE. And we say it's based on the requirements which are given, the formula to calculate our cost of equity, we can be able to take DO 1 plus G, you divide by, we discussed about the aspects of the market values, which we are using PO minus D minus F plus the growth rates. That is the analysis of the question. Then when I go to this question, I will be able to find we are not given the growth rate. And when I look on additional number 2, I will be able to realize that when they are giving me that kind of dividend per share, the formula to use is to use n minus 1. The root of, we are talking about most carry dividends, right? We divide it by the most past dividends right? Then all of these, we subtract 1. All of that, we subtract 1. Ask yourselves, how many number of years are we having? We talk about 4. The most carried dividends, when I read in that note number 2, we are being told by an examiner that the ordinary share of WACC Timber Limited have a nominal value of 0.50 per share, an ex-dividend market price of 7.07, and a CAMP dividend market price of 7.52. So you can see there, an examiner is giving you X dividends, and also they have given you CAMP dividends. Can you be able to take the difference? The difference between the X and CAMP dividends is the shares which they were able to issue currently. So when I look at it, if you take 7.07, right? 7.52, sorry. We just do it. 7.52 minus 7.07, we are going to be getting 0.45. 0.45, right? Is it 0.45? And we are being told there, the dividends for the year 2023 will be paid in the near future, correct? So in this case, it means these dividends are yet to be paid. So the current dividends which are already been paid, and which we are saying that the current dividends of ours will be now down there in the year 2022, whereby we are getting 0.43. We divide it by the most past dividends is 0.37. Correct? 0.37. And all of these, we subtract 1. All of that, we subtract 1. Remember, there is an expected dividends. Examiner hapa alikuwa amewavunja kabisa. There is an expected dividends of 0.45. There is an expected dividend for that. So in that case, when you have an expected dividends there, because these are the expected dividends which you are able to compute, right? You are able to compute to be 0.45. Now because we are looking on the current dividends of ours. Now, after doing so, after we do so, can we use our calculator to compute this? We say yes. Now it is 3, the root of 0.43. 0.43 you divide by 0.37. How much are you getting there? 0.43 divided by 0.37, getting 1.162. And all of these, right, we subtract 1. All of these, you subtract 1, right? Now, we said you are going to be taking 3. Then you press your shift. And then there is a button in your calculator which looks like this. Correct? So you write 3 in your screen, then shift that button. You're going to be having a X looking like this. Then you put your answer, which is 1.162. Then first you do your brackets. So in that case, we say, let me put my answer inside. Then we subtract 1. Our answer should be something closer to 13.8%. 13.8%. 13.8%. Now, after you get 13.8%, is it 13.8%? Are we getting the correct answer, someone? So let me see. Whether I'm getting the correct answer, my calculator, I'm going in the 9. So 0.43 divided by 0.37. Correct. So 3 shifts. That one answer. Okay. Okay, this is wrong. This is wrong. Because we are supposed to be getting something closer to
1.5.
Correct. Thank you. Sorry for that. 5.14%.
14.
Yes, 5.14. Now, after you finish this, now we can go back to the formula of ours. We say, to get our cost of equity, our DO, they are the current dividends which you have already been paid, or which you have paid. How much is our current dividends? When you look at it, how much is your current dividends? So our current dividends is how much? Let me see there. Correct now. We are being given the current dividends of ours, which we'll be able to use for this computation, we'll be able to take 0.43, 1 plus the growth rate, which is 0.0514. We divide it by, we are talking about our market value. And when you look at it in note number 2, we are being told the market value is 7.07, right? Then we add 0.0514. So how much is this? How much is that? So in simple terms, we are going to be starting with 1 plus 0.0514. 0.514. We multiply it with 0.43, right? You divide it by 7.07. We add 0.0514, getting something closer to 11.53. 11.53, you can be able to determine that, but just be able to do your computations and you see whether that is what you are getting. That is the cost of equity. Now, when you go to the requirement number 2, they are talking about the cost of preference shares. Number 2, the cost of preference shares. And when you're discussing about the cost of preference shares, we come and we rewrite our formula very well here. We say, to get our KP, we normally take our preferred dividends. You divide it by the market value minus discount minus flotation. Right? So in this case, you can just be able to look on how the question is being set. An examiner is talking about in note number 1, we are being told, not number 1, we are being told in note number 3, the 5% irredeemable preference shares of wacc Limited have a nominal value of 0.5 per share and an ex-dividend market value of 0.31. Correct? So in that case, we just come here and you tell me that the rate for the dividends is 5%. 5% of the nominal value. You have been told our nominal value there is how much? Our nominal value of 0.50. You divide it by what? You divide it by, we have been told in ex-dividend market value of 0.31, right? There is no any discount, there is no any flotation, no problem with that. So in this case, then at the end, we multiply by 100%. How much is your answer there? How much is your answer? So very simple, we say 0.05 times 0.5, you divide it by 0.31. Then we multiply by 100%, you'll be able to get something closer to 8.10%. 8.1%. 8.1%. Then when you finish doing so, can you be able to calculate the cost of equity, the cost of debt, sorry? Cost of debt is our KD. So to get your cost of debt, in this case, get the cost of debt, very simple. Why? Because we are saying, when you look on the requirements now, you concentrate from requirement number 4 to the last one, not to the last 4 and 5. We are being told the long-term borrowing of the first consistent of 10 million, 7% loan notes, right? The loan notes, which are given there, 7% loan notes, and 3 million bank loan. And we are being told the bank loan has a variable interest rate. So the simple question will be, what will be the proportion for the debts? But in that case, we have been told in note number 5 there. They are saying the 7% loan notes have a nominal value of 100, right? They have a nominal value of 100 per loan note and a market price of 1 or 2.34 per loan note, right? And we are being told there that Annual interest has just been paid, and the loan notes are redeemable in 4 years' time at a rate of 5% premium to nominal values. Correct? So how are we going to be working on this? We are going to be saying now, right? We're going to be saying, to get our cost of debt, we are going to be taking our interest plus 1 over n, face value minus the market value. We divide this by a half of the face value plus the market value. Then we adjust for taxes. Now, how much is our interest? We say, to get our interest in this case, our interest will be 7% over 100 plus 1 over 4, because the number of years I've been told they are 4. The face value of this security is 100 minus. I can see we are discussing about with a market value of 102.34, correct? We divide it by a half of 100 plus 102.34. Then we adjust for our taxes, which we are being told is 1 minus 0.3. But when we are going to be to the advanced level, if the tax rates are not provided, then we don't concentrate on them. If the tax rates are not provided, then we don't concentrate on them. Now, in this case, that is the advanced level. We shall meet there and we discuss about it. Now, I can see when I break down my question, it will be 7 plus, how much is this? It will be negative something there. So 2.34 negative divided by 4. 2.34 we divide by 4. We are getting negative, let me just put it directly, 0.585. We divide it by, now when you take 2 or 2.34, you divide it by 2, you're going to be getting something closer to 101.17. Then you adjust for your taxes there. Now, after you finish doing so, let me just take it 7 minus 0.585, right? We divide it by 101.17. Then you multiply it by 0.7. 0.7 arises because of 1 minus 0.3. So our rate here will be 4.44. 4.44. You can be able to clarify on that. 4.44. Now, after you do so, after you do that now, someone tell me my answer is correct.
Correct.
Let me see. There is something that I have to be checking there again. We have been to the 7% loan notes a nominal value of 100 per loan notes, and the market price of 102.34 per loan notes. Annual interest rate is being provided there for 4 years' time at a rate of 5% premium to nominal, 5%. So are we using 7% or 5%? Are we using 5 or we are using 7? We should be using 5 because we are going to be redeeming at 5. So let us use that 5. 5%. So it means this is 5. The small adjustments there. So you can give me my answer here. How much is this? How much is my rate there? So once you finish that, yes, that is okay. Nipe answers zangu hapo. What is our cost of debt? The rates?
30.5.
40.
30.5.
Five minus this divided by 101.17. Then you multiply by 0.7. How much are you getting? How much are you getting there?
0.03.
0.03, equivalent to 3%. Equivalent to 3%. Ushamaliza hivyo now, unakuja hapo unaniambia, can you be able to calculate our WC? I say yes. So we take our source. We take our source there. Then we take our amounts. Right? Then we calculate our weights. We copy our costs. Then we multiply weight times cost. When I look on my question there, we have three sources, correct? The first one will be the ordinary share capital, correct? So the ordinary share capital, it has market values. So let us look on our shares. So the ordinary share capital are how much? So in this case, we are being given how much their share capital retained and total equity is that. Let me check. The share capital. So the shares we are already given. The share capital is 12 million ordinary shares, right? 12 million ordinary shares. 12 million of ordinary shares and 5 million, 5% irredeemable preference shares. So in this case, we are going to be taking, now in this case, because there is already examiner has given you the shares, let me talk about in thousands of shillings. And you can be able to see note number, where are we? In note number 2, the ordinary share capitals of wacc Timber Limited have already been given there. We have been told to have a nominal value of 0.5 per share. An ex-dividend market value, right? These are the number of shares. Then we multiply by 7.07. This is the market value, which is exclusive of the dividends. This one, it doesn't have dividends in it. Now, in this case, it means if, for example, the examiner could not have given you the shares, then you normally take the nominal value. You normally take the total value of the ordinary share capital, you divide by the nominal of the par value, then you multiply by the market value per security. So in our case here, it means you just need to take 12,000 times 7.07, getting 84,840. Sorry for that. Then the second thing is the irredeemable preference shares. So when you are looking on the irredeemable preference shares, we are being told there, I'm looking for irredeemable preference shares, which you are being given as 5 million in note number 1. You are being given as 5 million. In our case, it's 5,000. But when you come to note number 3, we are being told that a 5 million, a 5% irredeemable preference shares of wacc Timber Limited have a nominal value of 0.5. The first thing, the reason as to we are dividing with the nominal value is to determine the number of the preference shares in it. Then you multiply with the market value to get your amount. That is what we say the reason as to we normally do that. Then we are being told that and an ex-dividend market value of 0.31 multiplied by 0.31. Correct. Now, the other one will be 7% loan notes. The 7% loan notes. So in this case, when we are given the 7% loan notes, we're being told that we have 10 million, right, of the loan notes. So it will be 10,000 in my case. We divide by the nominal value, which is already given in note number 5, as 100. Then you multiply it with the market value, which is 102.34. 102.34. Let me just take my calculator now. So let me take 5,000. We divide by 0.5. Then you multiply by 0.31, getting that 100. Now the other one will be 100. This will be 10 to 34. What is the total here? The total will be 10 to 34 plus 3100 plus 84, 840. Getting 98, 174. What about the weights? The weight you normally get it by taking this figure divided by the total. For example, the first one will be 84, 840. You divide by my answer here, getting 0.86. The other one will be 3100. You divide it by 98, 174. Getting 0.03. Then we have 10 to 34. You divide by 98, 174. Getting 0. Let me talk about 0.11 because of the rounding of errors. Because your weight you're supposed to be getting 1. Your weight should be 1. Now, from there, we go now to the costs. The cost we just copy the way they are. The first one is 11.53. The second one will be 8.10. Then the third one will be 3. So in this case, right, in this case, this will be 0.33, 0.03 times 8.10. We are getting 0.243. Then the first one will be 0.86. You multiply by 11.53. We are getting 9.92. So how much is your WCC? How much is your WCC? 9.92. We add 0.243 plus 0.33, getting 10.49. 10.49%. 10.49%. 10.49%. That is how you normally compute those questions. That is what you normally do. Any question? Any question? Any question? Any question? Let me pause a bit so that I look something. Correct. We have some corrections to make here. Because already I thought the 12 million is the number of shares, but I can see the cost of 12 million. So it means here we are supposed to be divided by 0.5. We're supposed to divide by 0.5. It means this is going to be changed here. Very good. Thank you so much. So it means that it will be 12,000 divided by 0.5 times 7.07. Here we are getting around 169,680. You can confirm that. That's what we are getting. Then it will be 183,014. Then it means my weight will be able to change. So my weights are changing from the one that we had. We divide by 183,014. So the first one is 0.93. That 100 divided by 183,014. Oh, thank you so much. 0.02. Then we have 10 to 34. We divide by 183,014. Getting 0.06, 0.05. Because it should be 0.05. Correct. So once you multiply, so 0.05 we multiply by 3, you get 0.15. This one translates to be 0.02 multiplied by 8.10. We are getting 0.16. Then the first one would be 0.93 multiplied by 11.53. Getting 10.72. Thank you so much. So 10.72, we add 0.16, we add 0.15. Get 11. 11.03%. 11.03%. Thank you so much for the correction.